so I don't know what we're gonna do at this point.
They told us to unhitch. We're parked along the sidewall.
The RV broke. Literally.
We could not get it fixed.
There's a lot we haven't told you. There's major changes, personal major changes, and some major changes to the channel. And this is not clickbait material. This is real life stuff. Most of you have never seen this coming.
Alright, look y'all, it's like we're in the middle of the apocalypse. It's starting to clear just a little so you can see our neighbors, Pee-wee and Martha right there.
This is what happens when you boondock in the desert. Even though we're on gravel, we're on gravel, y'all, and it still is just horrible.
And you can
winds in the 40s.
And let me see if I can zoom in because I ain't going out there. There's a guy over here with some tents. You can see how bad they're flapping, but they didn't blow away, so they're still there. Our chairs are plastered on the ground. As we showed you the windstorm, I mean, even though we're kind of on the gravel, you could still see all this sand just blowing everywhere. And I kept looking at them. I'm like, Matthew, the chairs. He's like, oh, it's fine. We'll just clean them. And I'm like, what if they're like rendered unusable? I mean, let's see. Oh, look at that. Hold on.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Who wants to sit in that? Look at this, look at that.
All right, we're gonna have to show them after we clean them.
I guess the moral of the story is don't camp in the desert. No. If you do camp in the desert and the winds are going to be like gusts 40 to 50, maybe even 20 to 30, and if your chairs just fall over, pick them up and put them in your bay because this is what it's going to look like. Are you ready to blow this joint?
I'm ready. Let's blow this turkey stand.
It's time to talk about everybody's favorite subject, eggs. You're probably thinking, oh no, not the eggs again. So, we went to shopping in Yuma at the Walmart. And I saw them first, and then I pointed to Matthew, and what did you say when you saw what I showed you?
I said, how do they get away with charging so much?
And he was making such a reaction. This other guy was like looking, he had to go look. It was not only $8 for the eggs, but it was $8.02 for
the eggs. And he said now, they had just been to South Padre where it was $13. And I believe that because it's a touristy place. But my goodness, $8 for a thing of eggs?
I know we're right next to California, but do you have to charge California prices?
My goodness, who's going to eat eggs at those prices? I mean, we got them just because they were in the menu. We got to have them, but...
we need them, but wow, I thought
that hurts.
$6 and something when back in Utah was expensive, but oh my goodness. Anyways, and right now it is January the 12th. That's when they were $8.02. They couldn't even make them $8. They're like, no, you need to pay 2 more cents. So let us know. Hopefully the egg prices have went down now. Hopefully they haven't went up.
Yeah,
right?
If they go up much more, I mean, maybe people just won't use eggs anymore.
Yeah, might just, find alternatives, right?
Egg alternatives.
Yeah.
Synthetic eggs. Yum, yum.
Ew.
We'll have to make do because at those prices, it's like you're buying golden eggs or something.
Not sustainable. I mean, you'll start to eat less and less eggs, and then eventually me and him will just have to half an egg. That's
not even worth eating at that point.
Eat 1 egg a day. I get half, he gets half. Alright, y'all. The Border Patrol is open, headed north to Quartzsite.
I think this is only the 2nd or 3rd time we've ever been snagged by this.
I know.
Oh, that's the flag. It's not us. I'm like, what is that making that noise?
The wind's really blowing.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad they have a little hut to be in. Thank you.
So he was waving everybody on, but then when we got up to him, he didn't say anything. I'm like, oh no. And then he said, okay, you're good. I was like, oh no, are you going to have to check everything?
Rip out the seats.
Right. Hope y'all can see it, but we stopped to get water and saw this hanging out. I'm like, uh-oh, and the tires were still good.
And we do our walk around before we leave, and this was not hanging out, but it feels like it goes behind the slide seal. So this is something that's behind the slide or has something to do with the slide. So we got to let the slide out first. So we just got here. I got to do the X-chocks and all that stuff first, and then the next thing you'll see will be the slide coming out and me upside down, so I can see where this goes. All right, look familiar? We are on the back side of things now. See, there's the slide, there's the stairs, and I'm upside down, but you can't see that, just trust me. Do you see this right here? This is the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to call this metal thing a strap. Do you see down here? That's the way it's supposed to be. There's a little hole under there, and there's a hole in the bottom side of that metal strap, and all I have to do is get the screw, which we do have extra screws, and screw it in. It's just that simple. Thank God.
All right, y'all, here is a tour of our spot here at Quartzsite, Plumosa Road. We came way down here because no one's down this section, so it's not crowded, so we get a little more peace and quiet here. The van there pulled in after we did. I think we were the only ones in this section when we first pulled in. And then there's people way down there and then over there, but the area on the other side of this wash, they have it closed this year. They seem to randomly close different parts, I guess to let the vegetation grow back up, but the one directly behind us is closed, but this one that we're in is open. It was open last year too. And that's our friends Jamie and John pulled in. First time boondocking, y'all, so give them a hand for coming to Quartzsite to boondock. Plenty of room for people to come out here, like groups and stuff. We met a couple that had a Montana that were coming out here on Plumosa Road. They're gonna have circling of the Montanas. And then on the other side of Jamie and John is their friend Kenny, and we got to meet him. He's got a really cool looking rig, which we've got some footage of, and people are always stopping him wanting to get a tour. In fact, we were outside talking to him, and two ladies walked by and they're like, we want to see your rig. So it's very custom.
Good morning, everybody. Here in Quartzsite, and today's going to be an eventful day. So part of owning an RV means regular maintenance. And before you turn the channel, this is really important maintenance. It's called repacking the bearings. And we've done a lot of driving over the last year. We've done a lot of mountain driving over the last several years. And it's time for us to get the bearings repacked. And if I'm being totally honest, it's been 2 years since we've done it. I know, horror and shriek. I know, 2 years, way too long. But maybe we have friends who do it every 2 years, so I guess it's maybe not way too long. Anyhow, I don't know how to do it. I've watched videos, I've seen people do it online, but I've never done it before. So we have a good friend, Mike, who is a wizard when it comes to all things mechanical or building, and if there's something he doesn't know, by golly, he'll figure it out. So he's in Quartzsite, he and his wife are in Quartzsite, and he is gonna come help me today. And let me show you. Obviously, the wheel bearings have to do with the wheels. We have not brought the slide in yet. Sean is currently sweeping the floor because you always sweep before you bring the slide in. But the wheel bearings are in there. We're also going to check the brakes, and by we, I mean Mike, but he's going to show me what to look for. These are drum brakes. One day I would love to get disc brakes. Disc brakes, yes. So let me show you the setup. I apologize, the sun is at a not an advantageous position. The generator has nothing to do with this. It just happens to be in there. There is our impact drill. And the battery is missing because I am topping it off right now. This is what we keep our sockets in. This is our torque wrench. It's in here. Trust me, it is. We have our grease seals in here. I've always been told the grease seals are important to have new ones, and we ordered extra. You might have noticed we have 8 there because the people we bought it from sell it in packs of 4. So does it hurt my feelings to get 4 extra? No, it does not, because usually you want to get a new one of those anyhow. Vinyl gloves. No, I'm not a baby, but yes, I like to not get dirty if I don't have to. Shop towels. You don't want to use sparkle for this, folks. You want to use the real deal, the really thick, indestructible blue, beautiful shop towels. Now this may be a little bit controversial. It's a bearing packer. I've never used it before. Mike actually does it by hand, but we bought this. Seems like it might save some time. And if I sound a little nasally, I'm still getting over a cold. I barely ever get sick, rarely ever get sick. Sean and I just don't get sick that often, but when we do, man, does it take a while. All right, we got the high temperature grease, drop point of 500 degrees. If you know what that means, then that's good. I was told we need brake cleaner and a bucket for trash. Now, thank the Lord it does not get windy here. Oh, wait, I lied. Thank the Lord it is not windy here right now, but it does get windy here. So we'll do the best we can, but honestly, I've been praying about no wind this morning, and it was supposed to be windy, and it is not yet. So thank God for that. We'll get the windy side of the trailer done first.
Repair shop. They told us to unhitch. We're parked along the sidewall, and they're probably going to take it back to the bay. So y'all, the last time you saw us, we were in Quartzsite getting our bearings packed.
That was yesterday. And now this is today. We're in Glendale, Arizona, because the RV broke. Literally, the suspension broke.
Yeah, it's cracked. We could not get it fixed in Quartzsite or Parker. Matthew called a place in Parker. They're like, there are 25 calls ahead of you.
And you might be thinking, why in the world did you have to go anywhere? Why not just wait until the show or after the show? Just put in your time. You're in Quartzsite. It's free, right? Because there's a lot we haven't told you. And we're not going to tell you everything right this second, but we will tell you. There's major changes, personal major changes, and some major changes to the channel, and we're going to tell you all of that. But before we can do any of that, we gotta get this thing fixed. So by the grace of God, we are able to get into
He'll type the name across.
Yeah, that's not an RV dealer. It's a storage / shop /
repair place,
parts and everything in Glendale, Arizona, just north of Phoenix, and they had a cancellation. Otherwise, they were booked all the way through February. And
we needed it done before February, which we will explain a little later when we get our RV back and where we're supposed to be. But RV's back there, parked along the wall. They're going to tow motor it into their bay to fix it. But yeah, it had a crack in the
And the equalizer is cracked. The equalizer is a part between the two axles, really between the leaf spring over here and leaf spring over there. So it's cracked, and we have some a good friend, Mike, thank you very much, Mike, who told us we might want to get that checked out. And then he conferred with his friends who know even more about it than he does, and the consensus was, you're not doing what you're about to do, which we haven't told you yet, until you get this fixed, or you're going to have a problem. So here is us getting it fixed. And by fixed, I don't mean welded, I mean replaced.
We were hoping that it could wait, but it just can't, like he said. After Mike conferred with his friends, we're like, it really needs to be fixed. And we're getting both sides done at the same time, since we're already going to have it in the shop. And they're replacing the wet bolts, because when we got our bearings packed, Mike had a hard time getting the grease in the wet bolts, so they're probably wore out. And
I was actually learning how to do the bearings, but then my mind got distracted by what he found. And if it weren't for him sticking his head on the back side, because it's on the not on the front side, I can look from the outside and see that it's not cracked. It's a big, huge crack on the back side. So he poked his head around the back side, laying on his back like a turtle in order to see this thing, and thank God he did, because otherwise we would have been on the side of the road somewhere with the leaf spring hanging down on the ground. It would have been terrible. So I'm grateful. He said, oh, I'm so sorry for the bad news. I said, no, this is good news, because we know before it gets damaged.
And Matthew was able to do one bearing. Thanks, Mike. Sorry that you had to do most of the work, because after that I kept telling him, I'm like, get in there and help. And Matthew's just pacing back and forth, because once you get bad news, your mind
is moving, and I'm already trying to research on my phone, and it's like, I need a solution.